back to our channel. Today is Wednesday, and we all know what that means. Spooky animation. But let's start with greetings before we get to it. Hello, my name is Daniel Avios, your
guy in the chair.
And today we have crazy girlfriend horror stories. So let's sit back and enjoy.
When I was in high school, there was a girl named Natalie that I had a crush on. In fact, almost all the boys at school were fascinated by her beauty. But I couldn't speak a word to her throughout my high school years. Then, when I became an adult, I started working at a restaurant. One day, she came there to have her meal. To my surprise, she pretended to know me first, and I had a conversation with her for the first time. The moment she called my name, I felt like I was in heaven. But she was with another man. He was my high school classmate, Marcus. He seemed very close to Natalie, and I was so jealous of him. I had a short chat with her, and because of her beauty, I stuttered like an idiot. When I got home from work, I screamed at myself in the mirror because I was so disappointed that I couldn't have her. However, she came to the restaurant frequently after that, and we gradually became close. Then, one day, she came to the restaurant by herself. So I asked her where Marcus was, and she flatly said that he had left. Then she said something unexpected to me.
Do you want to come over to my house?
When I heard her say that, I was so shocked that I almost spilled my food on her. But I couldn't hesitate, made an appointment with her right away. Then I came home, buried my face in my pillow, and rejoiced. A few days later, I went to her house. I knocked, and when she opened the door, I was a little surprised to see that the floor of the house was covered in plastic. And when I went inside, there was a painting hanging on the wall. I remember that she was good at drawing when she was in high school. She said her dream was to open an exhibition. However, when I looked closer, I noticed something strange about the painting. It was a painting of Marcus rolling around on the floor in pain. It was so real that you could hear Marcus's moans in the painting. So it felt like watching a real scene. I got goosebumps all over my body.
I drew it really well, right? Can you vividly feel Marcus's pain? This painting will surpass the Mona Lisa.
Her voice got very loud and her eyes sparkled. It was a sight I'd never seen before. I followed her to the living room, where several paintings were hanging on the wall. They were paintings of men I didn't know, and what all the paintings had in common was that the men were in extreme pain. A man was crying and crawling with an axe stuck in his back. A man had bandages all over his bloody body. One man had his limbs tied and spiders crawling all over his body.
Humans are most beautiful when they are in pain. So I always think about how I can make people suffer the most. Which of these men looks the most in pain?
She said with a smile. For a moment, I started to think she was a psychopath. I felt cold sweat running down my spine. Marcus appears to be in a lot of pain in that painting. How did you draw it so realistically? I asked her.
I hit Marcus with a hammer. After about 3 hits, that beautiful expression came out. He lived a really successful life because he left such a masterpiece.
You hit him with a hammer! I was startled and shouted in a shaky voice. And when I looked closely, Marcus looked as if he was crying out for help in the painting. I felt cold sweat soaking my entire body.
Have you ever heard this? Art is pain.
She said with a smile, and then walked into the kitchen and pulled something out of her freezer. It was a frozen mace. She ran at me with it and swung it at me. I instinctively avoided it and ran like crazy to the front door. And she followed and shouted,
"Now it's time to paint."
I barely managed to open the front door and run out, and the mace she swung hit her door, and I heard a loud bang.
"Come on, I'll draw you really well."
She screamed, and I ran away and called the police. Police soon began investigating her, and the results confirmed that she had killed 4 men, including Marcus, before dumping them in a river dozens of miles away. And the corpses all matched the men in the paintings. She was sentenced to life in prison. I couldn't get out of bed for several days because of the shock of that day. What would have happened if I had been a little late when running away, lost my footing, or failed to open the front door? There'd probably be a painting of me crying on the wall of her house.
Hey guys, that's why you have to be careful. That was a crazy girl. Like, ooh, we gotta watch that. And the first reflectors have been his only one that needed plastic all over the place. No. This is scary, we gotta run. But I hope you made this or you like what you saw and you want to see more. Don't forget to like it, comment down below, and then subscribe. But I hope you had an awesome night and the rest of the day go really well. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.